Good evening, guys. Let's get down to business. Well, we're getting some updates. It's not a big one, but still, every little bit counts, especially if we can unmix ourselves because we've had some conflicting information, and we knew that yesterday we had to draw the line. We had to figure out where to draw the line, but what will help us is getting the latest details to come out and being more and more confirmed. So quickly, just to note this one here, the let-off rounds at a residence in Candiac. So the messages are still being sent out in the province. Now, this one, they don't have any details, except it looks like they may have hit a couple's home that are professors at a university. So the wrong house probably was targeted. Let's just put that aside. Where are we? We got an arrest for possessing an arm in Quebec. A 30-year-old man was arrested near hotels on Boulevard Laurier. And this, I'm assuming it's in Quebec, Quebec City. What's up, DJ, my man? How you doing, pal? How you doing, my man? Welcome, friend. Always nice to see a familiar face, especially a good face like you, a good, kind soul like you. DJ is the man, bro. DJ is the man, you know. I appreciate every good man that I can get, you know. Like yesterday, I had a guy tell me, "Oh yeah, man, that one really, really pissed me off, you know, because he says, you French people are dumb," and then he says, "Kirkland is in Ontario, you stupid f whatever." Really, bud? You're telling me there's no other Kirkland, another town or another neighborhood called Kirkland in all of Canada, only in Ontario? Really, pal? And that you're telling me that Journal du Québec was covering that news. Journal du Québec covering a news, irrelevant news in another province. Journal du Québec, and they're talking about Kirkland. Really, pal? Really, pal? But really, what really pissed me off is you really had that supremacist attitude of oh, you're so much better than the Frenchies. You know, you can go f yourself, go unsubscribe, watch somebody else, or keep watching and being angry. But I suggest that you look a little bit larger than your little circle in Ontario, and you actually Google Kirkland, Quebec, and you might find out who the dumbass was. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. It really pissed me off when once in a while I'll get that, you know, get that Frenchies or the guy who hates French people. You know, you can go f yourself, man. Anyways, back to the story. We got a 30-year-old man who got arrested for great. I'm glad DJ is laughing, you know. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm happy when I get a good people around, man. You know, kind people. Not some people who got hate in their heart, looking for an excuse to hate a Frenchman. Really, man. Yeah. Don't worry, bud. We don't like you either, you know. But we like a lot of Ontarians. Half of our audience here is Anglophones, man. My good bros here. So yeah, 30-year-old man got arrested, and really, there's not much to say. I was hoping there was a little something more, but no, that's it. That's it. We'll leave that there. Now let's get to the main story, guys. It's getting freaking interesting. Now, remember that we had that car burning and then we found the death of a 14-year-old in a bunker. It's probably going to be Red Devil's bunker. Now, the thing is, because it's not the first event like this, I seem to recall about last year, maybe yeah, I'd say about like a little bit less than a year ago. Crazy, you know, as the BFM saga was unfolding. Do you guys remember there was a son of an ex-Hells Angel who was offed, where he went disappearing, you know? And anyways, if I recall, it was on this same street. Can you guys see my arrow? This same street here. Dude, the son was pinched with like 2-3 other guys. They had and the cops stopped them right there on the street. They found arms on them. They found canisters waiting to go burn a spot. Exactly the same location, man. And they got interrupted from doing it. So this stuff has been going on for a while on this same street. Not only that, they found the dudes were really going to go for an attack. They had created makeshift bulletproof vests. You know when you use well, we don't use this. I'm just a way of speaking. You know when you see those You know those phone books? They don't make them anymore, I think, because we're in a new generation. My generation, you used to go to like a public telephone. Underneath that telephone in the booth, there used to be this large freaking book, and they had these phone numbers in there. I know I'm old, huh? We're old, most of us here. Used to be this book. Well, the guys who were driving to go allegedly commit the same types of actions we're hearing lately, they had this phone book taped around the abdomen. So you do the math right there, what was about to go down, and it was about to go down right there, that same location, man, that same mega street there. Now you're going to say, okay, well, what about it, Forger? What's going on? Well, the police are sick of it. They know that street is full of action, and over and over, that bunker has been the target. Remember, we had like maybe a few months ago, they let off round at the bunker as well. So now what the cops have been doing is they're deploying 125 police officers, and they're creating that, how do you say, that mobile unit. I don't know what's the word for this. It's like a makeshift post. It's like a how you say, like a temporary mobile police station. There you go. That's the best way for me to put it. And they're gonna be deployed on that, literally on that street. You can't make this stuff up. Only in Quebec, they need to do this by now, because think about it. This has been the target over and over the past year, over and over and over again. And it looks like, and they're right to believe this, that if the cops just turned their back for a few moments, well, in the next couple of weeks, they're gonna return and they're gonna come back to harass the bikers there again. And the neighbors are afraid. Look, they're burning cars in the middle of the forest, man. We don't need another forest fire in Canada. There's just way too many, and we definitely don't need one to happen because of this. The street gang to biker war, man. It's terrible. He says, why no talk about ports in Montreal in news? I have no clue what it is, but I'm not aware of it. That's probably why. But thanks for letting me know. Thanks for letting me know in such a respectful way too. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not God. I'm not. I don't know everything, and I don't want to necessarily be, plugged in the matrix 24/7. You know what I'm saying? I need some some relaxedness in my life too, man. But yeah, I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know yet, pal. But yeah, guys. So they're creating the mobile command post on the street there. So you street gangs who are sending these 14-year-old kids on these suicide missions, you should think twice now, because but honestly, if you dare to do it now, but it's already crazy enough. You already had the biggest balls to do what you did over and over and over again. Crazy. But if you do it now, you're reaching on stupidity. But nothing surprises me anymore in Quebec. Nothing at all surprises me. Canada doesn't surprise me. We got people offing each other inside of Vancouver airports. Not once, but they tried to do it to Damien Ryan also a few years before that. You can't make this stuff up. Only in Canada, this is like a normal. So so let's see. Oh, another thing also. They're also doing the Vancouver. See, we're learning from each other. Remember Vancouver during the right after like the Bindi Johal? No, maybe, I don't know. It was between either during the Bindi Johal era or after it, right after the Red Scorpion became like popular and all that. Remember there was this initiatives where the cops would go inside of bars, restaurants in Vancouver. They would like enter those bars. Remember that was like a whole new initiative like in Canada, and they would look for people who had that they recognized as part of the street gang landscape. They would see you chilling inside of the bar or whatever. Even if you're completely innocent, you're hanging out there, they wouldn't chance it. They would go inside. They would basically harass those guys. They would grab them, tell them, you get the hell out of this bar, this restaurant. You don't get to enjoy this. Plus, your enemies might come and shoot up the place. We don't need that. So that initiative, well, it's been happening in it's been happening in Quebec. Once in a while they pull that out of their sleeve. Well, they're gonna pull it out of their sleeve now. Apparently, if you look here, it says they have declared that they will be visiting bars and restaurants, and where? In the regions of Montreal, in Quebec City, in Outaouais, in Longueuil, that's the South Shore of Montreal, Laval also, Mauricie, Saguenay, that's Alboisvin's area, Lévis, the red zone again, Granby, and la Couronne du Nord. No joke. And Rive Sud of the Metropole. Well, South Shore of, I'm assuming they're talking about South Shore of Quebec City, not South Shore of Montreal. The South Shore of Montreal will be more this year, Longueuil. So all these areas, do you see how specific that they are? You know, these are all cities where the presence of either the BFM or Montreal street gangs or even bikers. Each one of those. Interesting, no? So they're gonna go hit those bars, and you gotta assume that they're not just randomly picking bars in the city. They have a list of bars where they know street gangs go to hang out, especially in Laval, for example, which comes to mind for me. We've delved into that a few months ago. We've seen about one. There was one bar where there's constantly people getting offed there. I forgot the name by now. I totally forgot. But I showed you the history of that bar for the last like 13 years, and it's over and over and over. It's happening again. In fact, one of the latest people in the news cycles, an Arabic dude, I can't remember his name, but he was I believe he was in the street gangs of the Gregory Woolley pipeline. He got out of jail recently, and then they surveilled him. They saw him. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't work, but somehow he's in a Hummer or whatever. He's driving downtown. He's obviously making appointments. Probably part of a street gang. That he's running their business for them on the streets, whatever. That guy in one of those bars in Laval, he offed someone there, in that same bar I'm talking to you about. So I'm saying, what I'm trying to tell you here is that they're not just randomly picking these cities and they're just gonna go walk into some whatever bar. No, they know which bars these guys hang out with. They have a list, and they'll be starting to go, starting today, I guess. They'll be going into those bars, looking for you guys, checking for you guys, and pulling you out, man. Crazy, man. Sorry, guys. I'm reading. I missed some messages here. Good evening, middleman or man in the middle. Hey, DJ Crafty. It's been a while working like 80 hours a week. Freaking dead. I imagine, man. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. 80 hours. You know, that's the world we live in, man. 80 hours, and I bet you he's not the only one working too. I bet he has a wife or a girlfriend or something, and she's got to go work too. Well, welcome to the new economy. You know, you basically every moment of your day it's going to be spent like that. It's terrible where we're at now. Says Wild One says, hey, what's up, Wild One? Here you go. All right, and David Boulet, what's up, pal? Okay, so we got that out. Now look at the detail here. Just give me a sec. I just want to double check something. Yeah. So there. So what's the summary of this? They're creating a command post on that street. I gave you an example of things that I gave you an example of the one I told you some crazy stories that happened. They were about to go do a hit there, apparently. A hit, or they were gonna definitely burn someplace, but they went there super armed too. That was like last year. I told you guys that about that, and so then last week we got the car burning, but then we found out that two teenagers went to a bunker, and either they were going to burn the place or they were going to shoot up the place. One or the other, you take your pick, but we're getting conflicting answers that the kid was burnt. Now, I don't know yet. We're going to find out eventually if that's true or not, perhaps tonight. But they're creating a command post on that very same street now. Not because of just yesterday, friend. It's not just because of, the last 2 or 3 days, you know? No. It's not just because of that at all. that wasn't enough. It's because it's been happening over and over there. So there you have it, guys. They're sick of it. They're going to bring 125 officers from 25 different police bodies. They're going to be stationed there, and damn, man, they're going to make sure no one, that neighborhood is no longer going to have that happen again. Crazy, the world with times we live in. Okay, next one. Now, this one's interesting. I found the police of Quebec is worried that there's going to be a war way worse than the ones from the 90s. So this is a statement from the police. That's what's going on. So the Quebec police are apprehending that a war between the outlaw bikers and their enemies could be worse than the ones between the Hells Angels and the Rock Machine during the 1990s, according to a communique sent to different police agencies across the province. So they're worried this is going to be happening now. They're saying here in their communique, certain information coming from the underworld signals that a war between the outlaw motorcycle clubs and their opponents will increase in intensity in the following day, and they could be worse than the days lived in the 90s. There you go. That's a direct communique from the SPVQ, the Police of Quebec. So here's another quote here. A proposition was launched by the Hells Angels in order to find a common ground, for which was refused. Rather, they are trying to retake control of the territories and organize their revenge. Okay. So what I'm understanding here, my apologies, is actually says that I don't know. It looks. I don't know who it is, but it sounds like almost like the cops are asking them, But the Hells Angels are refusing, and they are preparing for war rather. Instead, the Hells Angels want to retake control of territories, and they are organizing a backlash, a revenge, a return. Now, individuals tied to bikers are armed and could soon start to initiate revenge attacks to their opponents, but also to any persons who could be part of the structure of the BFM. No, not even BFM. The thing is all over the place. My apologies. I'm misunderstanding. I guess it's BFM. I thought I'm a little confused why they say BMHL. I think that's Bande hors la loi. I think that's bikers, so it doesn't make sense. Makes sense. Okay, so the bikers. What? Sorry about that. My confusion. It makes more sense now. They're saying that individuals tied to the bikers are armed now, and they could start taking attacks against the opponents. But they'll also start attacking other outlaw bikers who did nothing to protect their image. It says. This is the communique from the police. That's a really funny way of wording this. You wonder what they mean. Who's not protecting their image? One could argue the Quebec Hells Angels have not been protecting their image. Does that mean that they get a bounty on their own brothers? That makes no sense to me. What are they talking about? It's very, very flu, very, very vague. But I'm not saying that to egg them on to do anything either. Of course not. I'm just trying to understand what's being written here. Okay, and they will, of course, the cops will not be commenting on that statement that I just read out to you. Let's see what we got here. Now, police officers who are asking to be anonymous, who are speaking to this newspaper agency, La Presse, which we're reading right now, say that they are not authorized to speak to the media, so they're doing it privately, right, in secret. But they say that they find the contents of that alert, which the SPVQ unleashed, which I read to you, quote, exaggerated. I don't know how to translate this. Nettement. In net exaggerated. You understand what I'm saying. Whereas on another side of this, they don't want to alarm the population. It was for their own people, right? Their own cops, of course. See what else? Sorry about that. I'm just going to read this for make sure I don't misunderstand if there's anything. Yeah, we're going to skip that. Look at this. So this is it, man. We're learning here. Whatever the case, the violent conflict which opposes the Hells Angels to independent traffickers being helped by street gangs of Montreal. And they're getting helped by the street gangs of Montreal to take over various regions of the east of the province, notably in the red zone, the Quebec City area, that side. Has hit a new level on Monday. Here we go. Now we get the confirmation we can be sure of ourselves. It hit a new level on Monday when police officers found the charred body of an adolescent of 14 years old from Montreal who was found behind the bunker of the Hells Angels in Quebec, in Frampton, in Beauce. Now they're saying it's a bunker of the Hells Angels. Before they said it was Dark Souls. Before that, they said it was the Red Devils. You take your pick. But the one yesterday for where they were letting off rounds as a message to it was definitely a bunker of the Hells Angels, the Three River chapter. Let's just make sure you don't get that confused. Now, the police are theorizing that this 14-year-old who they found charred behind the bunker was not alone. He was with another adolescent, and they both came from Montreal. And the reason that they came was in order to attack the bunker of the bikers. How? By torching it. That's how. But I need to remind you guys, it's a little bit more interesting than that. That vehicle that was burned, we read yesterday, with the wording that they used, still vague, but they said they found 2 machine guns. Now, en français, machine gun can mean a lot more things, perhaps, than in English. So, I don't know what type of machine gun or anything like that. You take your pick. I'm not sure if it means exactly the same thing as the word machine gun, but they said mitraillette. But we'll see. Just keep going on. Yeah. Now, according to the police, the 2 young ones, 14 years old-ish, were hanging out around a violent street gang from the east side of Montreal. Which one is that? The question that comes to my mind. Is it blue or is it red? As far as we can assume, usually the blue would be it would be the offshoots of Wooly, and that usually would be loyal to the bikers, to the Hells Angels of Montreal. So I don't know which street gangs they're talking about, but I would be leaning more towards the red, as well, because remember, the BFM, it stands for, you know what? I can't say the first word, Mafia Family. I can't say the B. The B is the red liquid, right? So you'd be leaning around the red parts. Plus, we know that they had the profit collectors join in to collect profits for BFM in Quebec City. And this is a street gang from Montreal going over there, which are going to be affiliated. Was it green or red? I can't remember. But it was not blue. For sure it was not blue. So it lines up. It seems to line up with that idea. So they're saying that the 2 young kids were hang-arounds or associates of a violent street gang from the east side of Montreal. And the contract was given by a group which is even more violent, of which the influential members are currently incarcerated. So the orders came from inside of prison, in other words. And according to certain information, members of the Hells Angels and their puppet clubs would have met on Thursday. Excuse me for a sec. We're Friday today. So the police are watching the Hells Angels, and they noted that they had a meeting, an important meeting on Thursday with their affiliate bikers. Where? In a bunker in Bécancour in Mauricie. There you go, guys. They're having meetings. Something's shaking. Something's going to happen. Now, of course, it says that in order to reduce tension and to reassure the population, we spoke about that, they're going to have a mobile unit on the scene on that street. I think it's called Deuxième Rang. Don't quote me on this, but they're going to be on that street for good now. With 125 cops and 25 different police bodies across. And not only that, they're going to be, from that team, that large team, they're going to be visiting Montreal, Quebec, and all of that. Of course, I don't think it's 125 officers in that street itself. I don't think that's what they mean. I think that this whole entire operation, I'm assuming that's what they mean. Now, So here's the details. Here's the details. We're confirmed. They're confirming for us that we were confused about, because he said he would. Remember yesterday they said the kid was murdered. He was murdered. That's what he said yesterday. Now once again, we go backwards. They found his body charred. I don't know. I don't think the Hells Angels would murder a 14-year-old and then char his body right there in the bunker, behind the bunker, right there. I don't think they would be doing that. So it's either, you know what I'm saying? So it has to be either he got murdered or he got burned. Logically. You understand? I'm leaning towards the kid burned himself by accident. Now, they're confirming the victim had burns all across his body, which made his identification very difficult. But he would have also had other visible injuries. Now, gunshots were sent on towards the bunker of the Hells Angels. There you go. Okay, now it's going to start. Okay, so they're still hypothesizing. They're keeping the details secret. But here you go, guys. Now maybe it makes sense. Maybe we're going to be able to make sense out of this. But again, they're speculating. And here's the speculation that we got. That we have available to us right now. They're saying that rounds were let off at this bunker. So at this bunker where they found the corpse, right? Now, the hypothesis, more serious, is that the victim, the 14-year-old, was hit with bullets from friends or enemies, and that a Molotov cocktail, which he held on his hands, would have sparked, basically. Basically, he didn't. It seems like they're painting this as if the kid went to the bunker. Maybe he got into a shootout. Maybe. And he got touched, and he had the Molotov in his hands. But this is pure speculation on the details. Again, I was hoping we were going to get some definitive answers, but they're still playing here. I would not lean on this, man. But they're keeping the details secret. Now, another detail that they do not want to confirm is whether the vehicle that they found, remember, 1 kilometer approximately away from this bunker, so there's 2 crime scenes. They don't want to confirm if that vehicle, which was torched, was stolen or not. They don't even want to confirm if it's possible, it says, that a third individual would have accompanied the 2 teenagers. Because remember this, these kids, they're 14 years old. Assuming they don't have a driving license, they don't have a car, of course, that all makes sense. Then how did they get there? Someone had to drive them there. An adult, more than likely. Unless there's a small chance they stole a car and they drove like hundreds of kilometers from Montreal over there. But we're not going to lean on that. We're going to lean more on an adult drove them there. So in that case, wouldn't that mean there has to be a third individual? That's very logical. We have 2 14 years old, but someone drove them there, so there might be a third individual. But of course, we're not going to get more than that. They're not confirming that either. Now, the identity of the adolescent was not confirmed yet. Not confirmed. So a bunch of speculations still. I was hoping we can get a little bit further than that. Bull says, the 14-year-old was with an AK. Oh, it was an AK-47? Thanks, man. I guess, yeah, there you go. It makes sense, right? Yesterday they said machine gun. Thank you for telling us that. I don't know how I missed it. I was it's probably written somewhere in this article, but you have a mouth, you're talking to people, you're trying to think, and you're not able to read word for word. You might read over that by accident. It could happen, But yeah, thanks, man. So he says it was an AK-47. I think they found 2 of them in that vehicle. He says, cool stuff, man. You're the only one that actually really covers what's going on in Quebec City. Thanks, pal. Yeah, it's thanks to you guys for tuning in. It's definitely thanks to credit to Daniel Renaud, Maxime Delan, Félix Séguin, La Presse, Journal du Québec, Journal de Montréal. Hope I didn't forget any other newspapers. It's definitely their hard work that's paying off. I'm just someone called me an interpreter. I like that. That makes sense. Yes, I'm just an interpreter. I'm looking at this, translating it for you, and trying to make sense of it. Some good, well-meaning person yesterday said, "You use AI to translate this. It'll make your life easier." So he has a good intention. Just that I don't trust. I don't know. I hate AI. Number one, not against you, bro. Just I don't like AI. I don't like that it's stealing our jobs. I don't like where this world's headed because of that. That's my number one reason. Number two is I don't trust it. I don't want to have a mistake. Even if 95% of it is good, if the 5% mistake comes from the AI, I won't be able to catch it. It'll be completely translated, right? So I won't be able to tell. And French is a colorful language, colorful language. I don't even want to get stuck on the translations when it'll sound fruity, So and also I like to read them and translate them at the same time. I actually kind of enjoy doing this, But yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks. I appreciate that. Mr. Green Thumb says it's always been. We just didn't talk about it, and no one found anything. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. But Mr. Green Thumb, Ottawa, what's up, pal? First time I see you here. Welcome, bud. Oh, and Mr. J also, how you doing? Bull, how you doing? David Boulet, Wild One, Man in the Middle, Music Brazilian. Sorry, I missed you. there. Yeah, I forgot the music. You're right. Plus, he sent me, Max sent me some stuff. I completely forgot. It's impossible to remember, man. I have such a bad memory. I have to do it on purpose, and then if I just wing it like I do, I forget, man. Got to play it, but yeah, man, Justin Trudeau and all that. And the thing is, no matter who you vote, it's gonna be the same story. It doesn't matter who you vote for, man. It's all lies. It's all of it. It's all an act. Every single bit. Sorry, I don't want to get into politics because some people can't stand it. But this is not politics. This is about real life. But yeah, anyways, Bull said, where are we here? It's not in the news yet, I think. Oh, he's talking about something about the old ports, I think. I'm not sure. Oh, you or the AK-47s. It says, Bull, I'm a bit older, but yes, I live in Lévis for 5 years at some point in time. So these guys know the areas. Yeah, they know the areas. Yeah. Anyways, I like that. I like that you guys are talking to each other, being friendly and all that. That's great, man. Welcome. Right on, guys. Anyways, that's it, man. We're going to cut this video here. Don't want to get over this much. Thank you for joining in. So what's the summary? That street, it's been full of action since last year. We had last year we had the attempted hit that was about to happen. A son of a ex-Hells Angels. I think his father was missing. They believe the Hells Angels offed him, and his son joined the BFM. They were on a mission. They were driving this very, where is it, man? They were driving this very same street, and they got busted right there. And that's while there was a red alert and the cops were on alert like this. It was something else had happened, and then the cops were busy trying to stop the BFM at that point. And that's when they busted those guys about to go complete a mission. That's the first one. And then I believe about a few months ago, we had a Hells Angels annual run. And if I recall, during that time, they came to was it this bunker? I think it was. Memory is difficult to remember. But they had let off rounds at this Red Devils bunker. And they not sure if they touched someone, but that happened during their annual run that they had. Then last week we had the car burning, and we find out that there was 2 teenagers that were about to go. They were coming in with AK-47, guys. 2 14-year-olds with AK-47s. And Molotovs coming to burn now it's a Hells Angels bunker. The other day they were saying it was a Dark Souls bunker. Before that they said no, it was a Red Devils. You take your pick, man. Yeah, you take your pick. But now that was about to happen. So you see, this was a very busy street. This was going to be a target for sure again and again. It's been happening over and over. So what do we find out? The cops are going to be placing or if they have already done it, they placed a command post there. That's the other thing. So that's what the news is for today. And other than that, what else did we learn? We learned those 2 kids were hang-arounds of a street gang from the east of Montreal. Where we're leaning towards the red color. That's the new latest development out of this. The 14-year-old, we are confirmed now for sure that his body was charred. He was burnt, crisped. They had a hard time even identifying him. But they did, because how else would they know that the kid is from Montreal, right? How else would they know? They had to identify who the kid was. It's only logical. So now they know who it is, that he's from Montreal. They suspect that those two kids had to be driven here. So we know there's an adult at play probably. What else could we add here? Yes, the bikers had a meeting yesterday. They had an emergency meeting. You know, they're not meeting to drink and hang out on the Thursday, the 1 or 2 days after these events. I assure you. So the cops are watching them, and we also find out now the cops, based on their behavior, based on the snitches that they do have, they're certain that the Hells Angels are finally going to take it up a notch now. They're certain of this, and what we find out is they sent out a communique to all the police agencies across. Especially, we can deduct they sent them out. They sent this communique to Montreal, Quebec City, Outaouais, the South Shore of Montreal, Longueuil, Laval, Mauricie, Saguenay, Lévis, Granby, Couronne du Nord, and South Shore of Quebec also. And they're about to go hit all those bars, and probably not to bump into the bikers, probably to bump into street gangs in Montreal, and then to let them know you're on notice, guys. If you guys join this war, if you're part of any of this, you're gonna have a hard time. We want your name. We have you on our list now. That's what it comes down to. It looks like absolutely crazy. So that's the summary of today. Hope it helps you guys. Hope it was a good summary. I did my best with the memory that I have. But yeah, all right, guys. Have a good one. Exactly. All right. Have a good night. Oh, Doozy Bird, what's up, pal? How you doing, pal? Bull, have a great one. Mr. Green Thumb says the thing no one mentioned much is all this has nothing to do with the Hells Angels or BFM. It's all about independence, standing up, and someone make money on all of them. Definitely, someone's making money on all of them. Who's supplying these gangs? You know. But it has something to do with the BFM. It has to. The BFM is leading this rebellion, and their home turf is Quebec City, is the red zone, and that's where we're getting most of this action. And it's people, street gangs from Montreal, going to Quebec to do this. And we got Al Boivin, we got Ice Pick Turmel, and the officers are going after them. And someone's paying. These guys are paying people to go do this. You know. So definitely BFM is in the picture, but you're right. There's more than the BFM. They're getting all the spotlight. Who's this mysterious gang? Is it the profit collectors? Because remember, recently, because again in the red zone we had Montreal Street Gang profit collectors getting hired to go on a mission here again, right there, not in this bunker, of course, but in that area. We're talking about the red zone. They went there just to do a kidnapping on the Hells Angels pipeline. So one of these dealers for the Hells Angels, who works for the Hells Angels, he got snatched. He got snatched. But who sent these guys from Montreal to go snatch them? You know who? Well, it's got to be someone from Quebec. You know, and which gang is dominating that? And one fact that we need to appreciate in this whole entire story, guys. One fact that needs to be appreciated. I've noticed this personally for example, in the United States, for example. Whoever controls the prison seems to control the streets. Whoever is most powerful in prison. To get more information or to have the confirmation, who's strongest in prison? Which gangs dominate and control the prison system? Now, so far, the indications that we're constantly getting stories of street gangs, BFM related, getting people touched in prison, getting Hells Angels touched in prison, having two Red Devils getting beat down in prison. I'm not hearing the reverse. The only reports I'm getting is one-sided. Makes you wonder. I've never been to to prison, so I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not a guy who just left prison to tell you that this street gang controls the prison. So, but in the U.S., for example, you have the Sureño gangs, the largest street gang in America. The Latinos, the Sureño, under the banner 13, they're controlled. They control prisons. They're very powerful, but they are controlled by the Mexican mafia. And it all starts from prison. The power structure comes from prison. We just found out today that the leaders of that alleged mysterious street gangs that they did not name, who their leaders are in prison. Now we're talking about Montreal here, but in prison. Crazy, no? So you got to ask yourself, what's going on? Who are these powerful street gangs that are powerful inside of prison? That will answer a lot of our major questions here. Absolutely nuts. It says, one theory is that the mafia backing them, trying to recover an ice pick hiding in mafia house. You never know, man. That would, if they're working for the mob, I would not be surprised. Nothing would surprise me. That doesn't sound far-fetched at all. It says EGK commanded by Arab power. What's EGK for? I don't know. I've seen that before. Maybe it's just my memory, or it's all a mystery for a reason. 514 lyrics. There's no reason, only the fact that these gangs in Montreal are fearless, and they see the Hells Angels not being able to recruit, and they can importation on their own anyways. Right. We're learning something. It says the boys always was in jail for control, even when RM was there. Who's RM? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time following. It's only them not bowing down to 60-year-old bikers, and the Montreal music scene just glorifies this ish. Quebec stuff is not Montreal stuff. Two different tempo. These two kids was with EGK. Who's EGK? In Saint Leonard gang. Oh, okay, right. It's that gang from Saint Leonard. I do remember vaguely hearing. We read a newspaper report mentioning it once or twice. That's what comes down to. That's what I recall, but I don't know anything about them. Rock Machine, Crafty one. Okay. RM is for a Rock Machine. He says it's not about BFM and bikers anymore. It's about Montreal wanting to take over. Crazy. Guess we're gonna find out. They're working together. These street gangs are working together now. Who knows, man? Who knows at this point? But all these things need to be mentioned. They need to be considered. Very interesting twist. Very interesting twist of facts. Anyways, I'll cut this video here. Thanks, guys, for sharing your input. So hopefully we try to make sense of all of this in the future, and we're gonna get some answers. But me, I because I don't want to speculate too much. I only want to speculate on what I can get on our news reports, because I don't know if someone can come on the chat, and I'm not saying it's you, of course not, but someone can come on the chat and make up lies in order to benefit another gang, or make up a lie to go against someone else. You never know these days. It could be anyone anonymously coming in and making up stuff or with an agenda. So I cannot take anyone's word for it just like that. I cannot do that. I have to be careful. I don't need to. I don't need to take that risk or that chance. But I have to try to stick to a method, to a basic method that's reasonable. That's reasonable, and that's gonna be what we can get confirmed when we translate the news. Just try to get to that point across. All right, guys. Have a good one. Have a good one. Enjoy your evening. Thanks a lot. And I like the anime avatar. I love anime. Not that I can find any to watch. Most of the stuff is the girly stuff, so I can't watch those. But I liked Berserk and they used to, Gungrave, Berserk back in the days. I just can't find much like that. There's a new one called Fable. It's not bad. It's about the Yakuza. But yeah, yeah. If you have anyone has a good recommendation, let me know, man. Let me know. I'd like to find something else to watch, man. God bless, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Green Thumb. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, yeah. And also, I always get these advice. None of you did that. None of you did that. But I didn't ask for advice. And none of you guys here for sure. I want to make sure of that right here. But I always get unsolicited advice. It's rather rude and disrespectful. I did not ask for advice. You need to do your channel like this. You need to do it like that. You need to do that. Don't even bother. I see your comment starts like that. I just get rid of you. It doesn't respect my time. I know what I'm doing. Been doing this for a while. I have my reasons to do whatever I do, however I choose to do it. It respects my time and it respects what I'm going to get out of it. I know what I'm going to get out of it and what I'm not going to get out of it. I know what spending 2 hours to get 13 pennies is worth. My time is worth more than that. So if I want to do these lives like this, I will. Not responding to anyone in the chat, of course. No one said anything. It's just for that unsolicited advice I constantly get from those people, who think they know. Open your own channel. You do it, boss. You show us how it's done. You'll quickly find out it's not worth the effort. The audience is way too small for this. That's why they're all reaching. They don't just do New York Mafia. They do everything. They try to throw bone all directions, And I hope that the shit sticks. But I chose not to do it that way. So the Montreal stuff, the audience is quite small. If you just do this by itself, it's very tiny. And it's not worth spending hours and hours and hours video editing and breaking your balls, doing something you're really not enjoyable at all. And then at the end, you get rewarded for 13, 14 cents for your efforts. And you get demonetized your videos because you said this wrong word, you said that wrong word. All your effort goes to shame. Or you forgot that while you were scrolling through a picture here, it showed a 9mm. Oops, you forgot. You forgot to remove that. Now you spent your 4 hours today to make 13 cents. Even that's taken from you. It's a waste of time. Thanks a lot, my friend. It's a nightmare, huh? Yeah, it's a nightmare. Freaking don't do true crime. Don't do any of this subject. It's not worth it, at this point. But yeah, if you wanna support, help out, encourage Forger for what he does. If you appreciate the translations, if you're an Anglophone, yeah, you like what I'm doing, you appreciate being able to see what's happening inside of this province. You want to thank me. You want to show some gratitude. You don't have to, but I greatly appreciate it because YouTube is not it. Trust me. You can join the membership, see it as a donation, and really helpful, very helpful. Trust me, and I thank you for that for sure. All the members who've been members for months, who stuck around just to help your boy out to keep doing this, I really appreciate you. It helped me out a lot. Plus, I don't have a good life. Every penny is it means the difference for this broke person. Trust me. All right, man. Have a great evening, guys. I thank you so much. Thank you, Canada. Thank you, USA. Thank you to everyone out there. And specifically, also, thank you, mes frères québécois. Je vous remercie. Thank you so much. One love, Doozy Bird.